Hello, everyone. Jordan Dancer here with 15 Minutes and a Big Idea. Glad to have you with us. Want to give you a couple updates on the podcast. We recently finished up the book of Philippians, and we're going to be going into another book that I'll announce at the end of the video. Make sure and stick around so you can hear where we're going to be starting out next week here at 15 Minutes and a Big Idea. First big announcement that we're excited for is some of you are watching on Facebook. So far, we've been posting these podcasts everywhere podcasts are found and video on YouTube, but now we'll be sharing these videos on the Mended Collective's Facebook page. 15 Minutes and a Big Idea is put together with the Mended Collective, and we're glad to have that partnership and to make this content available on Facebook, make it more widely available so you can share it more easily. Maybe you'll stumble on it a little more easily if you like those pages, so make sure and do that. If you're new with us, if you don't know what 15 Minutes and a Big Idea is, you haven't heard of it, 15 Minutes and a Big Idea is a Bible podcast. And we believe that the Bible is powerful to change our hearts, our lives, our homes, our churches, our communities, and our world for the glory of God. So what we do is we just sit down in a book of the Bible. We've gone through several books of the Bible so far. We've gone through James and Titus and Galatians and Ephesians and now Philippians. And so we're looking forward to continuing to do that. We take a book and we take 2 or 3, 4, 5, sometimes just one verse, and we try to figure out what's the big idea here. We don't want to get distracted by all kinds of other questions. We want to focus on what's the main thing, what's the clear thing the author's trying to get across to their audience, and what can we learn from that. We give you this one big idea, we give you some supporting ideas so you can see how the text is all funneling into that singular idea, and we're going to give you some application questions. We believe the Word of God can change us, but we have to put it into action. We want to help you do that. We keep these things tight. We keep them short. We want to make sure we're efficient with that and honor your time so that you can jump into this, get some encouragement, get some teaching, get some perhaps correction if you're like me when I do these studies. There's a lot of things that I find in myself I need to do better on. Maybe you can find that, and then we want to get you on your way so you can go living for the glory of God. So that's who we are. That's what we're about. And we're really appreciative of everyone who's been along in this process with us so far. So if you are interested in this, make sure and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast service, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Wherever it is, you can also follow the Mended Collective on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. And then obviously you can follow 15 Minutes and a Big Idea on Facebook and Instagram as well. You'll get lots of updates there. See that, and we're looking forward to it. So if you've been with us so far, some of you have been warriors from the very beginning, day one, and we just want to say thank you. If you've shared an episode or if you've just listened, if you've reached out to me for encouragement or submitted a question to our question response, we're so excited. So thank you for that. We want to continue to move this forward, and we hope it can be a blessing to you. These podcasts exist, one for you personally, so you can receive some teaching and some encouragement that's quick and effective for you. But also it exists for you to be able to use in your personal ministry, in the ways in which you're reaching out to people. You're helping people with discipleship. You're helping in evangelism. You're building connections. You're trying to answer questions, all these sorts of things. We want this to be a resource that you can use, that you can trust, that you can share with other people, and that they can find good, godly resources here on in digital form. So that's where we're at. That's what we're about. That's what we're doing. Now, where are we going? Well, it feels surreal to say this, but next we are going to 1 Corinthians. That'll be the book that we want to look at, that we want to study, which is incredible to say. Now, as I mentioned, we've done several books so far, but the biggest book we've done is Ephesians, and that took almost a year and a half, and it has less than half of the verses and chapters of 1 Corinthians. So we may move a little faster. I don't know. At the outset, I'm just going to pledge to do the first 6 chapters. There's a decent break after chapter 6. It's all connected as a letter. But after chapter 6, we'll kind of reevaluate and figure out what we want to do. We may do a question response episode for the first 6 chapters. We may go to another book after. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We want to keep this fresh. And want to keep the excitement around the topics and provide resources that will helpful to you. So that's kind of where we're going. That's what we're about. And I just hope that this podcast can be a blessing to you personally in your walk with Christ and as you seek to make the Word of God known and the glory of God demonstrated to all people. So if there's anything we can do for you, check the show notes below. We've got our podcast email. You can reach out to us through those services. Comment wherever you're at. We just want to help you out and serve you as we go through the Word of God together, seeking to put it in action and to glorify God through what we do. So thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week as we start 1 Corinthians